come out to play. Warrior.
Yo, 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 what's good, Jams? It's a nice Tuesday evening. Still haven't fixed my internet connection since the last stream. It's Asherell here, sitting with the great Jams Jetson. What up, Crypto Warriors? It's been a whole minute, maybe a whole couple months. I don't know when the should be back. You know, the bulls are starting to run. It feels like the crypto bull market may be incoming, and all that. I've checked out. Have a lot of things going on here, but definitely good to check here on chatting it up about crypto and life. How you doing, sir?
Yo. Shout out to all the crypto rascals out there. Shout out to the crypto warriors over on the Gentlemen of Crypto channel. This is Crypto and Down. We are back on another Urban Tuesday, back like we never left. This is episode 142. We have not streamed in over 3 months. So glad to be back here on the live stream. Glad to be chatting it up with you, Asherell. Lots of news stories to cover over the last few months. As you mentioned, the bulls are starting to come back. But before we jump into the market to see how prices are doing, before we jump into the news, I do need to protect my head top. And I will do that in just a second. Shout out to Don Montoya. Long time no see. Happy to see you guys again. What's up, Don? Hope all is well. Shout out to Internet Money. Congratulations on the successful deployment of the wallet. Shout out to the Pulse Chain ecosystem. Even saw Richard Hart tweeting over the last week or so, reemerging with the positive news in the cryptocurrency market. So just honored to be back here on Crypto and Down to talk cryptocurrency again.
I couldn't agree more. Shout out to you, Don Montoya, you and KG. Definitely the product. I've been away, just taking care of family stuff, new beginnings. But yeah, definitely like to see the space, the growth. Definitely utilize the internet money wallet. So y'all go check out that internet money wallet. Yeah, Pulse Chain. And it's funny, when Pulse Chain launched, we just kind of just been chilling, at least on my end, just watching things, seeing how it's progressed. I haven't seen that much working in the chat, just seeing what's going on, what's being worked on, new things that are coming out here and there. So I think what's definitely the cool side for me, yeah, definitely interacting with these different protocols. But when you can have the app, the wallets on your phone that are made with the user in mind, definitely appreciate that. So
agreed.
sure.
We, celebrated the launch of the Pulse Chain, of course. Also went on a Fuck Bitcoin Friday and said some piece there as well. But really just excited to see what happens over the next 6 to 12 months with post-chain development. I saw Gerardo did release Mintra. So congratulations to those guys over at Mintra, the NFT marketplace. Also saw some criticism from the community that they did not appreciate that when you do list a NFT for sale on the marketplace, that it does leave your wallet and is custodied escrow. So you aren't able to actually sell that NFT on multiple or list it for sale on multiple marketplaces, as that NFT will be exclusively tradable or able to be sold on Mintra. But overall, seeing positive news coming out there as well. But man, let's take a look at those prices whenever you are ready.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been 3 months since we've streamed, and I don't think over that time period we've probably the two of us talked about crypto a handful of times. So it'll be definitely good to get back, try to get back there. So different. I think we usually look at coin market cap, but maybe we should look at some of these market aggregators. I was researching. There may be some that have a buy experience or user experience potentially. So and if you're in the chat and you have a preferred market aggregator, if it's CoinGecko, whatever you use to look at crypto prices, let us know. But yeah, let's roll into that and talk prices here. All right, y'all, let's roll into that. Hold on. Since we've been away, the whole interface is kind of changed. Where are the buttons at? Yo, what do you think of this? This is livecoinwatch.com. So I also have CoinGecko pulled up, CoinMarketCap if we need to, but different, right? We usually don't look at this one, but this one was interesting. I like the way they had their user interface, a little sleek, a little black. You can see what's trending and get a good overview. The market cap here at the top left, you can see what's recently added, most upvoted in the top right, see what's trending as well. What do you think about that one?
I do like the simplicity of the user interface. I also like that it is automatically in dark mode. We'll start in the upper left-hand corner, work our way down into some prices, but definitely like what I see. Let's take an overview of the cryptocurrency market. Market cap is sitting above $1.3 trillion now that the bulls have returned. 24-hour volume is sitting right at $42 billion and over $4 billion in liquidity in those crypto markets. Trending coins for the day: Decentraland trading at 41 cents, ApeCoin trading at $1.42. And then you have Kujira, one I'm not familiar with, trading at $2.36. If you want to go dumpster diving, as Bitcoin Zay would say, Cockboxing Joe Jr. and Verified Avatar Bot is available. Most upvoted for the day: XRP, Stellar, and Satox Coin. Positive news over the last few months for XRP, with that appeal being rejected by Judge Garcia, I believe is his name, and basically saying that SRP has ultimately lost their case against XRP. So shout out to them. Price has definitely rebounded as a result. Now, let's look at the crypto prices in our market today. Bitcoin trading at $35,359.65. Over $690 billion market cap with $12 billion in volume today. All-time high for Bitcoin sits at 68,780. However, as many of you who are tuned in today know, we are well below our or well above our all-time lows, and have had some positive price action over the last 30 to 60 days. We were stuck in that range from 25,000 to 29,000, seemed like forever. And suddenly we do have positive action with speculation that the spot Bitcoin ETF, the multiple applications that sit before the SEC, that one of them will be ultimately approved. And then we also have positive action with MicroStrategy continuing to buy, institutional investors getting back into the game, and long-term Bitcoin holders holding more Bitcoin than previous. So all positive indicators for Bitcoin price. Bitcoin halving is upcoming here in the next few months. So typically that is a leading indicator of the Bitcoin bull market rally beginning. Will that be the case this year? It always has. Will history repeat? Only time will tell. But let's see if Bitcoin can get up to test that $40,000 psychological level. If we are able to get past 40,000 by the end of the year, I will be prepared to ring my bullish horn. But if we don't reach that 40,000 within the next 45 days, I do think we will likely trade sideways for the next 3 to 6 months.
Okay, I like that. Makes sense. We'll see how that plays out.
Number 2, Ethereum trading at $1,889. I'm trying to get up to that $2,000 psychological level. Market cap at 224 billion, not at 50% of Bitcoin's market cap. Ethereum's dominance has started to fall some over the last few months, but hopefully with positive developments, Ethereum can begin to have some price movement up above 2,000. USDT trading with $86 billion of market cap, up above that $82 billion that I recall from 3 months ago. 3 months to get 4 billion. Damn. BNB saw some news today that the smart chain scams have went down 75% over the last quarter. And if you think about it, not only has the BNB smart chain scams went down, my reasoning or analysis of why that is happening, hell, there's less volume and less people trading. So when you don't have a bunch of retail investors and noobs out there to be scammed, well, in fact, there will be scamming. And another news in BNB CZ ecosystem is they had about a 61% share of all crypto trading volume. That has also fallen in this year in 2023. So it looks like the regulators' attacks on Binance, on CZ has actually affected the amount of volume that is being traded at that exchange. So they are experiencing some pressures from regulators. And then in addition to that, I do think it's important to watch other crypto exchanges, as competition will be important over the next 6 to 12 months. Obviously, you have Coinbase out there, but 2022, 2023 were crazy for exchanges, especially centralized exchanges. So with Binance losing some of that market share, look out over the next 12 to 24 months for that next crypto exchange to really pop. There's no more BlockFi, there's no more Celsius, there's no more Vol, there's no more, Nexo as it once was. So who is going to take some of that market share that Binance has seeded?
Yeah. I'm gonna let you finish, but let's do something real quick here. Let's switch over to CoinCodex. Look at as we go through the rest of these prices. We just talked about BNB looking into XRP. Let me know what you think about this interface and what these prices look like so far as we go through the top 10.
Yeah, this shout out to Coin Codex. This interface is a bit more simplistic. You have your coins, you have your price, and I do like that they give you the 24-hour change, and you are able to see some trend lines. And then, of course, market cap and 24-hour volume. But jumping back in, number 5, we have XRP trading at 68 cents. We mentioned earlier the resounding win by Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and team against the SEC. Not only was the decision that they did not commit securities fraud against retail investors, that the only potential for securities fraud would be against institutional investors. The SEC appealed that decision, and ultimately they lost again. So 2 L's for Gary Gensler and the SEC. And it looks like XRP Army has ultimately prevailed. If you did dollar cost average during the bottoms of that XRP when it was around 20, 25 cents, even 30 cents, you are up 100%, even potentially 200% on your investment. So can't hate on the XRP Army too much. USDC been pretty
Too much.
quiet. Yeah, too much. They're pretty annoying anyway. But USDC pretty quiet in the circle. I hadn't heard much. I did apply for a job at Circle, did not get that. So boo you guys. But $24 billion market cap for the USDC Circle coin. Solana, lots of news from Solana. Still not a fan here at Crypto and Down. Definitely a venture capitalist coin. Definitely an institutional investor coin. Definitely a Sammy Bankman Fried coin. Definitely a Caroline Ellison coin. So I'm staying away from the Solana, Ben Armstrong crypto big boy of the day coin. I don't want anything to do with it. But up 6.4% on the day. Number 8, 88 Cardano. Also doing well, up trading at 35 cents per coin. Cardano had some recent news that they are going to allow outside developers to begin developing on the Cardano chain. I forgot what the nickname they had for that is. It's something like Midnight Madness or Monster Madness, something weird. But shout out to Cardano. Looks like they're still developing. And then Dogecoin, the little engine that could, the meme coin that will not go away, trading at the number 9 spot at 7 cents. Looks like if you bought that 6 cents Dogecoin, then you are in profit by a penny. Number 10 is Ton Coin. I literally have no idea what Ton Coin is, so I'm not going to sit here and
Never heard of it.
The Rascals or the Warriors. But I'll take King Bless advice here. If you see a coin shoot up into the top 10 and you've never heard of them, it is likely a scam. So yeah, that rounds out our top 10. We'll give you just the top 15. And then number 11, you got Tron TRX trading at 9 cents. Link, shout out to Chainlink, trading at 13 cents. Matic trading at 75 cents. Wrap Bitcoin at number 14, trading at 35,341. And then Litecoin, DAI, SHIB, DOT, which looks like Polkadot has fallen in market cap over the last few months. Bitcoin Cash and AVAX. I did see some interesting news that Ava Labs is laying off 50% of their staff to focus on growth. So hopefully, their team members can find gainful employment. Wishing them all the best. But that is your top 20 coins in the cryptocurrency markets as of Tuesday, November the 7th. But remember what we said, the Bitcoin halving is coming in the next few months. Monitor the Bitcoin price, see if it can get above that $40,000 psychological level. Ethereum past that $2,000 psychological level. Solana has popped a little bit. XRP has popped a little bit. Cardano has popped a little bit. Other meme coins have also done well. Shout out to Hex. That has rebounded as Bitcoin has moved. So always, our altcoins will be a lagging indicator of positive price appreciation in the Bitcoin and Ethereum markets. Nevertheless, we nothing we say here is financial advice. Just two brothers saying things publicly that we otherwise could say privately. Fuck you, Gary Gensler. I want to say that publicly, and I hope that Joe Biden does not get it. Oh, sorry, that was not part of the
Jams Jetson's opinions are and do not represent the totality of crypto down.
Amen.
Just want to say that. Hey, you know, we are freedom of speech over here. We are First Amendment over here at crypto.
Very much so. One thing before we get into our top news story of the day, actually, I'll hold it because it kind of does blend in with our top news story of the day.
Okay. Well, we won't move right of the day, but we're gonna definitely get to that. Go through some stories. It's been a while, so let's get it. Boom. XRP, Cardano, and Solana lead crypto gains over the week. Jams, take us away. What do you see here? We kind of went through this already, but
yeah. So this was exactly what I was referring to during our market breakdown, market analysis. As you can see, the Longhorn Bulls of Texas are starting to run. So several altcoins are riding high. As you mentioned, XRP, Cardano, and Solana, they are leading our crypto gains over the week. And these are good, as I say, lagging indicators of the positive price appreciation of Bitcoin and the health in the markets overall. It looks like our bearish season is starting to hopefully wane. We've seen two positive weeks of stock market performance. I was looking at the traditional markets earlier today, and those are doing well. And there's the term I was trying to find. The Cardano developers who are now able to call. So the Midnight Pioneer gang will now be deploying on the Cardano blockchain network to lead development. And so that's what led to some of the price appreciation on the Cardano side. Solana, only thing I saw there is that the venture capitalists are still scamming. So shout out to them for making their money over on Solana. Other than that, I ain't seen anything that would indicate positive price appreciation. But at least you have development on Cardano. We mentioned all of the XRP news with them winning two cases against the SEC. And then something I've noticed over the last few weeks on Twitter, on Halloween, we got a nice message from Gary Gensler, sort of a tongue-in-cheek message that says, you know, if you don't want to be scared or frightened, come into compliance with the SEC. Well, sir, it looks like the U.S. judicial system and the courts have ultimately struck down what you deem as compliance and regulatory boundaries. So before you make any jokes on Halloween and digs at the retail investors, let's make sure that your actual regulations are in accordance with the law, because looks like you lost 2 times. So shout out to losing ass Gary Gensler.
You say Mr. Burns is down right now. Man, he had a good run there for a while, but you know, with the run that he had, you know, you got to take some there. So we'll see how it plays out the rest of Joe Biden's term into 2025.
I really think that the Democratic Party has come to terms with the fact that their positions on cryptocurrency aren't palatable to the American people. And yes, there are those non-coiners who fear the crypto markets, who say they should be overregulated, who think of them as scams. But I think the majority of the population feels that people should be able to use their money as they see fit. It is their money. They do believe that people believe in financial responsibility and having the ability to dictate your financial future and not having the government in your pocket. And as the Democratic Party has tried to push through the SEC and Gary Gensler this law by dictation, law by regulation, ultimately they have faced rejection from voters. They've seen support move towards the other side of the aisle. And with this upcoming election, with today also being election day, ironically, they may see a backlash or a move for middle-aged voters away from the Democratic Party, specifically because of the issue of cryptocurrency. I know I will no longer be supporting the Democratic Party because of the issue of cryptocurrency and their naivety and also their tone deafness to understanding what the people are asking for and actually saying. So I don't feel I'm alone. I feel there are others out there who agree with me. And so we will see what happens in 2024 when Joe Biden's policies or Jim Crow Joe's policies on cryptocurrency are put up for referendum before the American people.
Yeah, if there even are elections. But it's interesting to me, kind of segue top story is the Democrats, you say, have a certain position on crypto, but if we're being honest, they seem to have benefited the most from utilizing crypto, merging it with the traditional, Ponzi system, putting a crypto face on it. If you look at Sam Bankman-Fried, the money that Joe Biden, Jim, as we referred to him as, was able to raise for his election, they utilize crypto, and then you think about the money that goes over to the Ukraine as well. So it's like they were able to put not to say that it was crypto's fault. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that they were at the forefront, just talking about crypto, trying in regulations, but at the same time utilizing the face of crypto, but running the old same Ponzi scheme plays. They're running one, funnel money to different politicians that they wanted to get elected, as well as launder money and steal the public's funds.
I couldn't agree more. So, I think the Democrats are talking out
that dynamic.
Yeah, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that they're talking out of both sides of their mouths. I think they're saying that we want to regulate cryptocurrency, that all of these guys are scammers. But then on the flip side, they have their hands out. Let's jump into our top story, and then I will kind of explain why I say that.
Here, let me pull it up. Yeah, it's a dirty game out here that everybody's playing. And then, you'd mentioned Gary Gensler, and it goes from Warren down to Gary Gensler. So they're definitely their specific agenda, while they front run and do different things to
Agreed. I could not agree more. So one thing that I want us to look at here, as we talk about FTX and get into our top story of the day, is the money. Always follow the money. And if we look at political contributions in the year 2022, cycle 2022, FTX ranked number 3. Number 3 in political contributions, over $75 million. Their leading recipient was $28 million to a Democratic-backed political action committee. followed by 15 million to a Republican political action committee, and then $6 million to a House majority, $3.5 million to the Senate Leadership Fund. So FTX was not only scamming the American people, they were funding the U.S. government politicians to do exactly as they were paid to do. So my question to all of the members of Congress, both Democrats and Republicans, both members of the House and the Senate, all the way to the executive branch, Joe Biden, how did this revolving door of money not be identified? Was it that you guys were being paid off, therefore you turned the other way? Or does this actually stink to living shit? My honest opinion is that this stinks to living shit. This is the example of drain the swamp. This is the largest money laundering scam that we have uncovered in modern history. Not only did scam Bankman-Fried steal $8 billion from investors, you guys got $75 million of it. You had your hands out, you accepted the money while he was scamming from the American people. All of you should be ashamed. Not only the House, the Senate, whole Biden, and every single one of you on this recipient list. I didn't get a single dollar from Scammy Bankman-Fried. I never was a member of FTX. But guess what? If you did trade on FTX, they have been cooperating with the IRS. So all of your trade data has been shared with the IRS. So make sure that you claim how much money you made trading on FTX, because FTX advisors are sharing customers' data with who? The FBI. FTX advisors have complied with subpoenas from multiple FBI field offices in recent months, providing law enforcement with records of some customers' trades. So not only was FTX donating political contributions over $75 million to both houses of Congress, they're also complying with the Federal Bureau of Investigations, turning over reported transaction data from FTX's cloud computing provider. It investigated customer accounts and transactions. And this was a request from the Oakland field office. So they must comply with the subpoena. So here we are once again identifying not only corruption from the U.S. government as they received money from Scam Bankman-Fried, but then we also have another branch, the judicial branch, saying, hey, screw your privacy rights, screw any financial rights that you may have. We want your transaction data, when the ultimate criminal is not you, the citizen who utilizes cryptocurrency legal, but the person who gave them $75 million. Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty on all 7 charges in FTX fraud trial. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams called Bankman-Fried's crimes a multi-billion-dollar scheme designed to make him the king of crypto and one of the biggest financial frauds in American history. Bernie Madoff lives in infamy. You can't even say the word Madoff without thinking scam. The same should be for Sam Bankman-Fried, but actually worse. Sam was found guilty of 2 counts of wire fraud, 2 counts of wire fraud conspiracy, 1 count of securities fraud, 1 count of commodities fraud conspiracy, and 1 count of money laundering conspiracy. Whew! That's a tongue twister saying all the things this man was guilty of. And each carry a maximum sentence of 5 and 20 years in prison. His lawyers insist that he is innocent. But my problem remains You took $75 million from this man. Excuse me, Mr. Gary Gensler, you were homies with this man's father. Carolyn Ellison, MIT, y'all were all in on the scam. So from the highest part of the government to our highest university institutions at Stanford, all the way to our judicial, this is nothing but corruption. And I'm glad that my man was found guilty. And I hope that he gets at least 50 years in the federal penitentiary. I know he will probably be at the camp where, it's not as bad, but my man should be on the yard serving time. He's a scammer. And Gary Gensler, shout out to Too Much For You, okay, needs to go, and he should be sitting there right there with them, because there's no way he did not know, when all it took was a Google search for me to identify something was fishy.
That's right. You did break the story doing down. You did down the donations, the political activism, and even before the trial hit. So I can't remember what episode that was, but yeah, shout out to you. Montoya said, "Well said, Jams." Don Montoya says, "Well said, Jams." Much for you. Okay, Angela needs to go. Shout out to you. Station this live. It's good to be back on here. And Stimmy Check equals BC says he off topic. What's your thoughts on?
Yo. So thoughts on post-trade? Great question. I like to break it into two parts. First, getting price out of our mind, the promise. So first, the promise on post-chain was to deliver a faster, cleaner, whatever version of Ether. Ultimately, is it faster? Kind of, yeah. It is faster. And does it function? Yes, it functions. Now, is post-chain going to be the leading blockchain in the world? At this point, probably not. However, post-chain has been functioning as expected. You are able to bridge in your Ethereum assets or assets from other chains and trade them through a variety of dexes. There are a number of dexes on the post-chain.
Yo, I want to ask you about this, because I haven't talked to you about post-chain. I know we got Blex. I talked to him a little bit, and he said both of y'all were kind of on there. I want to know what are your thoughts so far on the different dexes and that experience. Can you share anything as far as you'd like to on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a variety of dexes and applications on the Pulse chain. Pulse chain is a ecosystem. It's not just a tradable coin or crypto. There are thousands of cryptocurrencies on the Pulse chain. And with that being so, there are a number of decentralized exchanges. One of them being PulseX, another one of them being 9inch. I myself like to utilize PulseX, as that is the Richard Hart exchange that was built. However, it's a free world. You are able to utilize whichever exchange affords you the best rate and that you feel most comfortable with. I myself feel most comfortable using PulseX, as that's what I used when the chain originally dropped. But just to go back to my original point and finish that, is the promise was that Pulse chain would deliver. Did it take longer? Yes, it did. Did that cause frustration? Sure. But Pulse chain is here. It functions as expected. There was over $21 million worth of volume today, and there's been over 18 million blocks processed and over 196,000 transactions today. So for Richard Hart to not only say that I'm going to release post chain and it actually released, he did deliver on the promise. Is it exactly what it was made out to be originally? No. But as development happens, you shift. And so he did. Am I making excuses? Absolutely not. I'm just saying that post chain does exist, it does work. And now let's get to price. Now, when most blockchains are released, there is the initial excitement. Of course, hey, I have my new coins. Post-chain release was released with zero value if you sacrificed. And of course, there was some excited. People have been waiting 2 years. Now that that initial excitement has subsided, and some of the volume has gone down over the last few months, price has fallen below the initial sack rate. So was it better to sacrifice, or was it better for you to wait and buy now? Depends on what you were going to do when Pulse Chain initially released. Did you need to have Pulse as gas to transact? Did you want to go buy other things before liquidity was injected or before swapping occurred? So price to me at this stage isn't as important as it is determinant or based on what your use case is for Pulse Chain. Now, long term, looking forward, do I see Pulse price increasing? Potentially, yes, because there has been steady adoption and development, and there continues to be more. As I mentioned earlier in the show, Mintra just released last week. Shout out to Don Montoya. I'm pretty sure the internet money guys, and shout out to KG, that they are still working. They're continuing to develop. You have UPX, you have Teddy Bear. Hell, you even have the DAI stablecoin. People speculating that, ooh, is DAI going to be the stablecoin of the Pulse chain? Maybe I should play that game. Then you have people who say that PHEX is now for sure going to be the dominant version of Hex, or Hex is the dominant version of Hex, and EHEX no longer matters. Then you have the Atropa ecosystem. Hell, I don't even hear people really talking about Hedron and Icosa anymore. Trading volume is really low over there. But then you have pairs of Wrap BTC, people playing that game. So lots of games still being played on the Pulse Chain ecosystem. Two things to remember. First and foremost is, was the promise delivered upon? In my opinion, yes. And then second, price. Not as important so early on. Did you get your coins, and what are the outlets? Are people continuing to develop? Shout out to Internet Money. You can see here they are still working. And Don Montoya says, having Pulse pre-price allowed me to do all kinds of DG and ratio trading for the first few hours, turn worthless copy ERC20s into more Pulse. That's exactly what I'm referring to. So sacrificing worked out in Don Montoya's case, as he was able to do things that he otherwise would not have done. Stimmy check equals BTC says he agrees the network works well, and when the ETH fees get crazy during the bull market, people will come to Pulse to buy shit coins. You're absolutely right. I remember like during the Pepe craze a few months back, you could have bought Pepe on Pulse Chain and made some quick flips. And as you mentioned, when gas goes crazy and ETH does go back to 3,000, 3,500, you're not going to want to pay $50 for a swap on Uniswap, but you can bridge that over to the Pulse chain, do your thing, and bridge back. So lots of opportunities and avenues that were opened because of the Pulse chain. And hell, like we mentioned earlier in the show, if you want to go play the Solana game, go play the Solana game. If you want to go play Cardano game, go play the Cardano game. If you want to go, hell, play with Matic, go play with Matic. This is a place where you have the freedom to choose. You have the freedom to operate. Pulse Chain is just another avenue, and it functions and works well. It has backing of a community of people who do believe in the technology and believe that they are going to keep building and using the ecosystem for what it was created for. So hopefully that answers the question.
Yo, that was good. I don't even want to talk because my audio is choppy, my internet is trash. So I'm just gonna let you cook.
I'm good, man. We haven't been live in 3 months, so got lots to say. But shout out to Don Montoya. He's got to head out for the night. But definitely appreciate you coming through, man. We'll try to get our streams going back regularly. Father of two, Ashrel has the blessing at home now, man, and just trying to keep life together. We haven't forgotten about the Rascals or the Warriors. Definitely haven't forgotten about the crypto markets. And so we'll bring the news that you can use when you can use it, as much as possible going forward.
Yes, sir. I told we'll try to make it happen more so here, moving into fall and into winter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Appreciate
I ain't gonna
y'all.
be outside. I say I ain't gonna be outside, so I may as well be in the house on this stream talking some crypto with you, bro.
Might as well. Shout out to Too Much For You, okay? Stimulus BTC, Don Montoya. Oh wait, after that, yeah. Got a little baby boy. Too Much For You, okay? A 5-month-old. So we out here trying to raise the next generation, as they say.
Man,
we trying to raise the next generation.
You made me genuinely smile when you said 5 months, because I'm like, damn, it's been 5 months. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing, like, to be on this journey of friendship with you through our various stages of life, from teenagers, doing reckless stuff, to now, our college years, and then to actual today, being fathers, and so much love to you, bro. Glad to see your growth, elevation through the years. It definitely is a blessing, and congrats. Thank you too much for you, okay, for shouting out Ashrel, and of course Sunflower in Texas. You didn't do all the work by yourself, bro.
I can't take all the credit for I can't.
I
want to, but I can't. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you y'all for in the chat. Y'all the day one since day one.
For real.
I hope y'all still got those NFTs. That I don't know what NFT those were, but yo, man. Hey, as we go into this new cycle, shout out to y'all. Hope y'all are gonna be locked in with us. We'll definitely try to do more streams. Keep engaged with y'all. Maybe they'll get some merch out there for y'all to support crypto and down. Keep us funded and well fed. So let's do it.
Let's get it, man. Let's jump into some more stories.
All right, hold up. Let me I gotta pull these bad boys up. The some of these stories are very interesting here, and they kind of fall into a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about, particularly with investing. Now, when we talk about the coming bull run, our bull starting this next cycle, from some of the people who I follow who are into the crypto space, they think it may be things related to the different web browsers and those applications as well. But let's Miss Cathie Wood. What Cathie Wood's ARK Invest sells 3.8 million in Grayscale shares, snaps up 5.6 in block.
Yeah, man. So we oftentimes talk about ARK Invest, one of the largest investors, if not the largest investor in cryptocurrency related stocks. Also, as we are reporting now, has offloaded a number of Grayscale shares. So with the recent positive appreciation of Bitcoin, no one should be shocked. Cathie Wood's team, being a group of educated investors, have taken some profit and sold $3.8 million in Grayscale shares. But in addition, in the news of Block beating their revenue, they've purchased more of the block Bitcoin focused company founded by Jack Dorsey. Um, just so everyone's aware, Block was formerly known as Square, and they do own Cash App, which can be used for buying and selling Bitcoin. And the reason why, or what's being reported, why they purchased this is because Block reported better than expected Q3 earnings, posting a net revenue of 5.62 billion, up 25% year over year. So the stock scores as Cash App's Bitcoin revenue hits $2.42 billion. So Cash App betting on Bitcoin seems to be a win. Block seems to be a favorite stock purchase for Cathie Wood and ARK Invest. So is it a time to follow the smart money and do what they do? It's up to you. Or you could just invest directly into into ARK, whether that's through ARK's next generation internet fund or by adding ARK Innovation ETF, ARKK. Remember, nothing we say is financial advice, but you can check those out through any of your traditional finance providers. But I think it's important that we just be aware of what they are doing so that can be a potential indicator for us of where the market may be going. Too much for you, okay, says, how do you guys think the ETFs are going to affect the industry? I think at this point, they're really being baked into the price. So I really think that there is enough sentiment politically for a spot ETF to be approved, whether that be the coin shares, whether that be the ARK spot Bitcoin ETF. There are a number of applications out there. One of the Vanguard, one of them will eventually be approved. And I think that's being baked into the price. And as I kind of hinted at earlier in the show, I really don't think the Democrats' position on cryptocurrency is tenable politically. And so they have to start backtracking. They have to start shifting. And one major shift, or the biggest shift that could possibly happen at this particular time, is the approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF application. I think that's why we're seeing this push up to 35,000, potentially 40,000. Oh, and that's the better point. You mentioned the one that I was forgetting. Thank you for that. BlackRock's ETF. That probably will be the one that gets approved. You know, Larry Fink has his hand not only in the government, but in everything else as well. So, yes, BlackRock's ETF application is also pending out there. One of them gets approved. I think that's being baked into the price, along with Larry Fink's recent comments over the last few weeks. And so, yep, I see that may be the thing that gets us to 40,000, but I don't know if that gets us to 50,000. I don't think we start seeing or even talking about 50,000 unless we see a shift in the Fed and their interest rates, and then also Bitcoin halving. So we're still, I say 6 months away from 40,000, or excuse me, 45,000 at least. But that ETF approval could definitely get us to 40,000 in the blink of an eye. It's starting to be baked into our price. What else you got, bro? Oh man, I read this story.
Money, bro.
Yeah, bro, I read this story and I could not believe it. I was like, now, not only did Joe Biden come with the news that he was going to hire 80,000 new IRS workers. Like, bro, are you trying to get reelected at all? Like, we obviously see, like, you're a little geriatric, kind of, starting to slide a little bit. But, we can see past that if you keep some money in our pockets. What you come with? The IRS will push forward with a proposal to increase cryptocurrency surveillance. A past report might offer a clue for how this information may be used in practice. So With the IRS set to keep tabs on Americans' cryptocurrency through an expected 8 billion new returns, it seems the DOJ may have tools to start confiscating your cryptocurrency at an unprecedented rate. The issue stems from a 2002 report written by the DOJ in response to an executive order number 14,067. For those who might not remember, this was Joe Biden's first major cryptocurrency initiative. So when they ask, why didn't he get elected? I want people to remember Executive Order 14067. Although many people initially feared an impending crackdown was coming, the order was largely delayed, making sweeping changes by first calling on agencies to issue reports to inform those policies. The report, written by the DOJ, covered a vast range of topics: ways to expand penalties for cryptocurrency-related crimes, and ways to increase resources available for government employees, ways for them to hire 80,000 more people to lock you up in jail. For example, the report states it is critical that the United States have the authority to forfeit the proceeds of cryptocurrency fraud and manipulation as a means of deterring such activity and divesting violators of their ill-gotten gains. Therefore, the DOJ recommends expanding its authority over criminal, civil, and administrative forfeiture. Civil asset forfeiture in America is already one of the biggest crimes that occurs. And now we want to give one of the biggest authorities that already gets away with civil asset forfeiture hand over foot more authority. Yeah, how about no? So between 2014 and 2022, the FBI seized around $427 million in cryptocurrency. Listen to this. The IRS seized another $3.8 billion between 2018 and 2021. $427 million between 2014 and 2022 for the FBI. The IRS got $3.8 billion. With more than $4 billion on hand, the DOJ's argument that the U.S. government is struggling to seize cryptocurrency is bullshit. How the hell you got $4 billion in cryptocurrency and say we need more authority to steal money from the American people? Criminal versus civil, judicial versus administrative. Look at this. 75% of the money is just being stole through administrative. The DOJ commended the process for promoting an efficient allocation of government resources while discouraging undue burdens on the federal justice system. In fact, this process seems to be the DOJ's preferred practice, given that administrative forfeitures made up 78%. With the IRS collecting vast amounts of new information on Americans' cryptocurrency use, it's possible that the DOJ may suddenly find vast new arenas for cryptocurrency confiscation. So guess what, guys? Just know the IRS is coming after you, and they are finding ways to increase their authority to steal your hard-earned money. If that is not another reason to kick out Joe Biden and his administration, then I don't know what to tell you. You didn't do anything civilly wrong. You didn't do anything criminally wrong. This is an administrative forfeiture. Almost over $4 billion of money, with 78% of that due to administrative problems. Shit's crazy. And as Too Much For You Okay says,
Yeah.
this is a government money grab. They've already done this with the Silk Road. They did it with Mt. Gox. They don't need more power. And they absolutely don't. If you've already seized $4 billion, why do you need more power? I don't want to draw any analogies to current situations that are going on across the world, but that's like my man Netanyahu saying, hey, man, I need more rockets. Well, nigga, you already got like 600 of them hoes. How many more you need? We'll talk about that in a little bit later. I don't want to get
Bro,
into the down.
I don't need. I don't need that smoke. Yeah,
Ain't gonna get.
what you talking about them people? Let me get off the screen.
Yeah, now we'll get into the
Oh
down.
yeah, yo, good points,
I
good points,
got
good
some on
points,
the
good
down
points.
when we get to the down, but we're gonna take a break before we go down. I got a couple more crypto stories before we go there.
Let's see. I'm trying to look and see what crypto stores we got. Let's see what we got. I think we hit every crypto story, bro. This one though, this one crypto. What you think about this? Elon Musk's Neuralink wants volunteers after killing 1,500 animals.
Oh,
Elon Musk,
yeah.
slick.
Yeah. I saw that on Decrypt. Shout out to Decrypt for starting to expand their coverage. They do now cover AI, they cover gaming in addition to covering crypto. And when I saw this story, I found it very, very interesting that there's seems to be like a dual narrative here. So Elon Musk's Neuralink wants human volunteers after killing 1,500 animals. What a clickbait title. First and foremost, Standard Lutz, like, dun dun dun, he killed 1,500 animals. What a bad guy. Obviously, you do not like Elon Musk. However, when you start to read how some of these animals died, shit, they are very, it's like any kind of research, they're very transparent and literal, in a medical sense, like how it died. And it's like the monkey pulled the damn chip out of his brain, the wire fried, cooked the monkey brain, or, like, they're very descriptive. So it begs the question, are you signing up, Asherelle?
I ain't trying to be Dr. Octopus, Doc Ock, man. I ain't trying to be that.
And so let me just give a couple examples. I see some comments that I want to get to in just a moment, but let me wrap this story up and then I'll jump back to the comment section. So another female monkey, animal 15, began losing coordination, was shake uncontrollably. Another one had immense bleeding in the brain, but Musk says that no monkeys died as a result. So the government has basically approved human trials. So if y'all want to sign up for the Neuralink, you have the right to sign up and go knock yourselves out. I'm not going
Mr.
first.
Beast.
Hey, but one thing I do want to say is
first, I ain't going last.
Yeah, one last point on that is for all the Elon Musk zealots, all the ones on Twitter, all the fanboys. Hey, y'all need to be the first ones to go get that Neuralink and get your monkey brain fried. Y'all need to be the first ones. So I don't want to see nothing but Elon Musk fanboys coming back with monkey brain. If I see anybody but a fanboy, I'm getting on you. I'm talking about you. Just know I'm coming at you. But hey, let me get to the comment section real quick. Shout out to PFC Wells, man. Hey, appreciate you coming through, bro. He says the IRS won a case during the summer saying they can collect your financial records in pursuit of investigating somebody else, and they nor the bank have to tell you anything. Other thing to know, if you pay taxes on your crypto, you already KYC'd your wallets. So remember that there is that little box on the 1040 return. On your 1040 return, have you traded any cryptocurrencies over the last year? Yes or no? You check yes, you are indicating, please come investigate the hell out my ass and find out how much cryptocurrency I have. Were you being audited? No, they just get the ability to look and see, Let me send a subpoena to Coinbase. Let me send one to Kraken. Oh, I did see the news. Kraken is also complying with the IRS and sending users data as well. That story just dropped over the last couple of days. So just know, at this point, none of your transactions are private. If your wallets are KYC, like PFC will say. So be careful out there if you are doing anything that is not above the board. We do not encourage any illegal activity or behaviors. We just believe you have the freedom to do what you see fit with your taxed dollars. Because it's not like the dollar's not already taxed. I mean, it's not like you ain't paid money on your income tax dollars anyway. So why the hell are you taxing me again? I'll pay capital gains if you want to, but hey, man, at least let me get some profit first.
True. Yeah, I mean, they can triangulate using it and all that. Like, they don't really need you to check yes or no. Depending on how much you're rolling with, they know.
Yeah, man, it's kind of unprecedented. So it's like they're requiring crypto service providers to not only KYC, but they really want to know like names, social security numbers, like how many transactions you've had. Let me share this quick story with you real quick, and we can jump on that. And then I do want to go down a little bit because some things happening in this world that I haven't really been able to talk about. So I do want to talk about those. PFC I'm not even talking about the checkbox, is you did taxes and included the crypto, you KYC the wallet through the tax person. And that's another avenue. I didn't think about that as what you were referencing, but also here's a point. On Coinbase and through TurboTax, you have the ability to connect your wallets. And if people remember, Intuit, who owns TurboTax, did a deal with the IRS. So that data is actually being transmitted directly to the IRS once you do connect those wallets. So here's the story. For 2 years, the cryptocurrency world has been waiting to see how the IRS will implement the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Put simply, this law established new reporting requirements that risk setting a de facto ban on cryptocurrency mining and exposing millions of Americans to new felony crimes. Let me repeat, felony crimes. The good news is that the IRS's nearly 300-page proposal is not quite as bad as it could have been under the law. However, that is far from saying it's a good policy. As citizens, companies, and consultants finish crafting their comment letters ahead of the October 30th response deadline that has already passed a week ago. Shout out to Richard Hart here. He was one of the people who was advocating for people to make comments online that I saw on Twitter. So I do want to give him his credit there. Recalling back to 2021, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act was about building roads, bridges, and the like. Not even about cryptocurrency or financial reporting. It wasn't until funding was desperately needed to offset spending that members of Congress slipped in two provisions to increase financial surveillance over cryptocurrency users. Ain't that funny how it works? They always doing some backdoor bullshit to fuck with us. Their argument was that increasing surveillance would increase tax revenue. Of course, they need more money to send to Ukraine. Of course, they need to buy more bombs for their Israeli war, effectively accusing cryptocurrency users of tax evasion. At the time, the Joint Committee on Taxation estimated that the provisions would yield around $28 billion in tax revenue over 10 years. $28 billion. They've already gave $75 billion to Ukraine, so that ain't even gonna pay for shit. A third of the war. Without a way to replace the funding, attempts to remove the controversial reporting requirements were rejected. So the $28 billion figure was questionable at the time. And less than a year later, the whole Biden administration released its budget, which contained a vastly different estimate. In contrast to the $28 billion estimated, the Biden estimated that only $2 billion would be received over the next 10 years. So they lied. They said that they were going to get $28 billion from this new law, when in all reality, all they were going to get was $2. And even that number might be an overestimation, as Treasury officials acknowledge that the estimates were based on a very different market. So now that we're not in a bull market, we're in a bear market, they ain't as much money for them to rob. So what makes the IRS and the federal government any different than the Binance Smart Chain BSC scammers, Asherelle? Didn't we just show a story earlier that said, or talk about Binance Smart Chain scams going down 75% over Q3? Well, guess what? It looks like they're not going to be able to scam as much money from the American people as they once reported. So the IRS reports 1,700 comments received. Those are rookie numbers, unless you want every crypto site and wallet to have your social security number, nodes, devs, governance, and liquidity providers to be brokers. So go ahead and put your comments. That time has already passed, but just something to be aware of. The government is definitely trying to surveil us still. They do not believe that cryptocurrency is a right. They do not believe that you should be able to spend your money as you see fit. And they feel that they should have the ability to monitor everything you do because you are a criminal. You have not been proven innocent. You do not have any rights. And guess what? You don't pass go straight to jail. You are now a felony criminal. And PFC Wells says this is the same ideas the Treasury Department came up in the OFAC report from 2021, and the G20 just voted for the IMF SFB crypto policy roadmap. And in addition, I saw my boys out in Kenya. They said, hey, we got a local blockchain group. Can you guys actually get together and come up with some laws? I feel like if the gentlemen of crypto, the crypto warriors, a few Hexicans, a couple people from the Cardano community, Don't Bring Big Boy, got together, I feel like we could probably come up with better regulations and a better policy roadmap than all of these other screws out here. But never mind that, our time will come. At this time, I think it's important for us to actually empower the right parties and leaders, but just don't do it the FTX way. We don't have to scam and money launder to get our way. I just think it's important that our voices are heard and that people come in it. So that's why I shouted out Richard Hart, because he did ask for people to use their voice and actually shift policy influence, because today is election day. Shout out to everyone who did vote and passed some propositions. Shout out to Ohio recreationalizing marijuana. Also saw that they upheld the right to abortion. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's just what they did. And then I saw people in Texas, they voted to cut them down property taxes. They also voted to increase teachers' retirement fund money, add about $3 billion to the teachers' retirement fund. That'll come from the general fund. And then also, there will not be an increase to the retirement age for judges. Texas said, fuck that shit. If you old as hell, get your ass out of office. But still no term limits. So
we shall see if that happens with those term limits or not. But that was the last crypto story we had. I'll let you cook on some part. What did you want to get into? There's a lot going on. We got Net, we got Yahoo, we got.
Let me start here. Let me start there, and then I want to go to our next story. So I want to start here though. So how much aid has the U.S. sent Ukraine? So this is from the Council of Foreign Relations, a reputable source. Obviously, they have their sway, but let's just look at the numbers. Since the war began, the Biden administration and the U.S. Congress have directed more than $75 billion in assistance to Ukraine. So these are real numbers. I did not make those numbers up, which includes humanitarian, financial, and military support, according to the Kiel Institute for the World Economy, a German research institute. This figure does not include all war-related U.S. spending, such as aid to allies. So let's just go ahead and throw another 25 billion in there. Let's just make it. So let's look at our 76. 4 billion on emergency food assistance, healthcare, refugee, and support. 26 billion on budgetary aid through the economic support loans and other financial support. So who get that 26 billion? Ain't that called money laundering? When you just like pay off like some white collars, I don't know. Anyways, 18.3 in security system, training, equipment, weapons, bombs, support, actual like weapons and shit. Then another 23 billion weapons and equipment from Defense Department stocks provided through presidential drawdowns. Then 4.7 billion grants and loans for weapons and equipment. So $46.6 billion from the American people to the Ukrainians for what? What war? I mean, why? So the military aid provided by the United States and other allies played a pivotal role in Ukraine's defense and counteroffensive against Russia. And U.S. and allied leaders consider Russia's invasion a brutal and illegal war of aggression on NATO's frontier that, if successful, would subjugate millions of Ukrainians and encourage Russian President Vladimir Putin's revanchist aims and invite similar aggression from other rival powers, especially. Let me read that sentence to you. Many Western analysts say the military aid provided by the United States and other allies played a pivotal role in Ukraine's defense and counteroffensive against Russia. U.S. allied leaders consider Russia's invasion a brutal and illegal war of aggression on NATO's frontier that, if successful, would subjugate millions of Ukrainians. A legal war of aggression would subjugate millions of Ukrainians. How much is that worth to the American people? Is it worth $76 billion on paper? Now, let me ask you a question. How much is the subjugation of the Palestinian people worth to the American people? Is it worth $75 billion? Is a brutal and illegal war of aggression in Palestine and the subjugation of millions of Palestinians worth $75 billion? We said it was worth $75 billion to defend the Ukrainians against Putin at risk of nuclear war. But here we are encouraging nuclear war instead of ceasefires, preventing humanitarian aid by escalating, by sending carriers, by not defending ourselves through peace talks, but by posturing, encouraging more death tolls. So I ask again, how much is an illegal war worth? How much are millions of lives worth if they're Palestinian? If it's not $76 billion, I don't know. Because how is Ukraine tapping the U.S. arsenal? 10,000 Javelin anti-armor systems, 80,000 other anti-armor systems and munitions, 2,000 Stinger anti-aircraft systems, 7,000 TOW missiles, 35,000 grenade launchers, 100,000 sets of body armors and helmets, night vision devices, C4, explosive ordnances, Claymore, anti-tanks, mine clearing, obstacle emplacement equipment, field equipment, air defense, 1 Patriot air defense battery, 12 NASAM systems, Avenger air defense systems, Hawk air defense systems, laser guided Riker systems, AIM-7 missiles, RIM-7 missiles, AIM-9M missiles, anti-aircraft guns, equipment to integrate and sustain, Vampire anti-drone systems, air-to-ground missiles, high-speed anti-radiation missiles, precision aerial munitions, 6,000 Zuni aircraft rockets, 20,000 Hydra 70 aircraft rockets, 20 M17 helicopters, Switchblade drones, Phoenix Ghost drones, Altius 600 drones, Scan Eagle drones, Puma drones, Jump 20 drones, Cyberlux K8 drones, Penguin drones, Black Hornet drones, 2 Harping
Harpoon coastal defense systems, 62 coastal and riverine patrol boats. God damn, did we just build a whole fucking country? 2,000 Humvees, 731 vehicles, 100 light tactical vehicles, 68 trucks, 124 trailers, 58 water trailers, 239 fuel tankers, and 105 fuel trailers. So I ask again, how much are the Palestinians worth?
That's a great question. I saw they proposed where they said take that IRS thing instead of them boys in blue and white.
Yeah, so I just think it's very, very important for us to remember that not only was it just over 600 something days, so we're getting right at almost 2 years. We're coming up on 2 years of the Ukrainian war. We spent $76 billion to buy all of that. For what? For what? For what? What did we get? What did the American people get?
Mitch McConnell said we got rid of our old arms and we're building new ones, and it helped the factories and
actually, I did see something. The ruble, in comparison, the buying power of the ruble has crumbled in comparison to the dollar. So shout out to Crypto Butter. That is a great point. Better proxy wars than direct World War III combat. At least Russia will have exhausted significant assets as they attempt to control the breadbasket of Europe. Iran is not as much of a threat.
Do you know what? Do you know what we got? You know what we got? We got Europe is going to be more reliant on the energy. That's what we're getting out of it. At the end of the day,
it's true.
You know, with the pipeline making Europe, hey, you want to get your LN, get your gas, your natural gas, you gotta come over here. So I think that's the big thing that's going to come out of it. Or I didn't come up with this amount, but I heard that's what people were saying.
And that's the thing I love about crypto and down.
It is.
Man, this one of the things I love about crypto and down. Like here we got PFC Wells in the comment section talking about the top 100 defense contracting companies, and then you got Too Much For You Okay saying what companies are providing those arms. They're probably in the top 100. I don't want to throw any particular companies' names out there, as I haven't specifically researched who made each one of those items that we just listed. But it ain't nothing but a Google search to figure out how much of what each one of those things cost, how many they got, so how much money went into each one of those companies. Easy to determine. And then PFC Wells says also no one is talking about the millions of Afghans who are about to be kicked out of Pakistan. There's a whole gen who only know Pakistan and nothing about Afghanistan, and this is the world we live in. Just like there's nobody talking about the millions or the thousands of Haitians that just got their ass kicked out of the Dominican Republic just for building a damn a well on a river that everybody's supposed to share on the same damn island. So we are in a time where, hey man, fair is not fair. What's right is not right. Power demands. The military industrial complex is in full effect. I am no longer standing up for war. I am kneeling for peace. I am sitting for peace. So when they ask me to stand up for Ukraine or you ask me to stand up for Israel, I object on religious, peaceful reasons. I'm not a believer in warmongering. I'm not a believer in stoking fires. After growth and much research, after much growth and deep diving into what my personal beliefs and values are, I do not value war. I do not value taking another man's life, and any kind of posturing or acts that encourage or feed into those sorts of actions, whether they be Israeli or Palestinian, are wrong. And therefore, I will not be standing with any Israelis. I will not be standing with any Palestinians. I will be sitting for peace. I will be kneeling for peace. I will be actually praying for peace. I know people laugh and say praying doesn't work. Nobody should be praying anymore. But I'm gonna pray for y'all. I'll pray for y'all tonight, and probably pray for y'all again tomorrow. Humanitarian aids are being targeted amid Gaza bombardment. I saw a story in the New York Times. Shame on you, New York Times. Even if the Israelis and the IDF did say that they are tightening the noose on Gaza, that was the most inflammatory bullshit ass line I seen, because they didn't do nothing but piss me off and make me want to be anti-Semitic when I read that shit. And I'm like, why the hell you gonna put that damn title out there like that? And just so the people know I'm not lying, let's see if they did change that New York Times. Because I was like, bro, what y'all doing, man? Y'all out here wilding, bro. No, it's still up there. Yeah, it is still up there. Nobody called and told them, like, hey, man, you probably shouldn't do that. But according to the IDF, they are tightening the noose on Gaza City as the war enters its second month. Obviously, I did not make that up. They said that is a quote direct from the IDF. So that in America, that has racial undertones, and so obviously they know what they're doing when they did that. That's all I'm saying. And I just feel at this point it's just not very important for me to support war. I think I'm tired of war. We didn't have the Ukrainian war. We didn't have now we got another Israel Hamas war. We didn't have the Afghani war. We didn't have the Iraqi war. The Yemeni still at war. We got the Congolese at war. We got the Haitians and the Dominicans about to go back at war. Crypto Butler says, it drives our economy via defense contractors. That's right. Rockwell, Lockheed Martin, Space Local, trickle down to small engines like machinists, etc. Your local welders. Everybody eat off the military industrial complex. Don't make it right though. PFC Well says government don't care about you standing on needle. Just make sure to pay your taxes. Hey, they don't give a damn. As long as you pull up with that bank account, they really don't care. But I just think it's important that people stop letting the letting the social political climate dictate their values. I'm not going to speak ill or against people for their religious beliefs, because I don't believe that's right to do. And I don't hate anyone. And so I don't encourage others to hate anyone either. But if your language creates an environment where hate can be supported, I ain't got too much love for you. Crypto Butter says many Palestinians live peaceful lives inside Israel. It's correct. Hell, if we really want to talk about the history, shit, many Jews lived very peaceful in Palestine during the Ottoman Empire. I mean, many Christians coexisted. Many, everybody act like all Palestinians are Muslims, and they not. It's like there are Christian Palestinians, there are Jewish Palestinians, there are Muslim Palestinians, there are atheist Palestinians. Just like people are not a monolith, and we have to stop acting as if they are. Too much for your case says the IDF has had that noose around Gaza's next over 20 years. So everything. You can think of Gaza as basically being a part of a apartheid state. I know that a lot of people don't want to talk about the Jim Crow South, but the only thing different between what they live in and the Jim Crow South is Jim Crow, they ain't put everybody in South Carolina and lock a fucking fence around that motherfucker and have rockets pointed at your ass. But I'm not here to pick winners and losers, man. People losing their lives, man. People should be choosing them kids that's getting blown up. People should be choosing, letting people live their lives. But unfortunately, too much money to be made, too many egos, too much history, too much bloodshed. It's like saying, hey, somebody, run up in your block and shoot you up. Don't go get your lick back.
well, bullshit, I'm going to get my leg back. But instead of it being just that simple, it's, well, we get to make, you know, like $5 billion off you going to get your leg back. So we need you to like do your full go get your leg back so we really can make like $10 billion. And then like, so it's a little bit different, you know, like imagine if the Bloods and Crips was like, hey man, when I come to your block and hit your block, we just gonna fight for like 6 months because I need to make some money off.
Yeah. I like Charleston White's take. That's all I'll say.
Hey man, I also I do want to say, if somebody were to go to your house today, knock on the front door, hey man, old dude 2 towns over just told me that this is my house. It's nice. Get out. You go over there to their house. I don't care who stay over there. That's your house now. This is my house. And you know why? Not only did the dude 2 times tell me, God told me this was my house. And the dude 2 towns over got big ass guns. So I got big ass guns that said this is my house. And God said this is my house. Who are you to deny my big ass gun and to deny God that this ain't my house?
You can't really argue with that. You see, can't argue with that. They said I got the blicky.
They said Zionism is the problem. The UK and the US are responsible for this mess because they want to try to control the Middle East. Monetary investment is hard to deny. The historical facts are hard to ignore. And I do feel that once you bring in religion, which is obviously a part of it, it's hard to tell someone that their worldview should encompass someone else's worldview when their worldview is a supreme worldview. Hard to tell a supremacist, whatever kind of supremacist, that there are others who are equal or also just as entitled as you. As that supreme being or theist, you become the only person with a claim to whatever that thing is. So I really feel bad that we continue to stay in this place and we as a society are not able to respect the opinions of others or actually see their humanity. We truly lack, and this may be just a part of our humanity, is that we lack the ability to see the humanity in others. And it's only going to continue to get worse because just the other day, I saw a sign, I've seen 2 of them now in 2 separate cities that says, it's okay to say no when you see a panhandler. You seen them signs? So, hey, peace out, PFC Wells. He says, have a good night. Back, too much for okay, says that part, same shit the US did to the Indians. But have you seen the signs? Like, of course, like some cities, they have no loitering, panhandling is illegal. But now I've started to see signs that basically tries to get at your emotions psychologically and encourage you not to give. It's okay to say no to panhandlers, but give to our city fund who's actually trying to fix the problem. So it really just encourages this indifference towards suffering. We as a society no longer
or maybe we never did. And like this may just be like the state of humans, is that like our ability to be empathetic towards one another just for being human beings seems to be lacking, man. It's like I don't care if you're an Orthodox Jew or a devout Muslim. Like, you're a human being. Like, if your house gets blown up, that's fucked up. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you think Jerusalem is yours or Jerusalem is not yours. Like, I don't care if you pray at the crying wall or at Al-Aqsa Mosque. Like, that's not why I respect you as a human being. And so our ability to be empathetic with one another is so just not there that it's easy for us to watch on CNN or Al Jazeera or wherever, the New York Times, and like, oh, well, they shit just got blown up, or they shit just got hit by a hurricane, or damn, they just had a shooting at the Walmart, or it's like, whatever, it wasn't me. When in all reality, we should be more empathetic towards one another, because that could be you. And ultimately encouraging violence and war amongst other people, even when some of them people are wrong, is fucked up. And we should be better than that. That's my take. Oh, and Crypto Butter says you're not going on vacation to Iran anytime soon, and reasoning with the Taliban. Well, I mean, the Taliban, for one, is in Afghanistan, and they might be pretty welcoming. Two,
hey, Lord, what's his name? Lord Jamar, he goes over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Taliban don't seem that bad. I mean, shit, the Taliban got the poppy field, so they high as hell on opium. So as long as you get the right dude, you probably straight. Iran, you gotta remember, man, before the Ayatollah, before the mullahs and all of, you know, the highly devout Muslims taking over, Iran was cool as hell. Like, you know, Iran looked like damn Cincinnati, man. Shit, that shit looked like down Detroit in the 70s or something. Like, they was walking around with skirts and everything, but then, you know, of course, of course,
yeah, that was Afghanistan too, bro. That I saw some pictures in the 70s of Afghanistan. It looked like it ain't lying.
This shit look like Detroit, bro. I was like, oh man, they out there with the cars.
Nah, bro. Afghanistan looked like California, man.
Oh, for real. So like, I think we here in America, our media loves to try to say good versus evil. We are the good guys, the people that the military industrial complex and the system decides who are the bad guys. You either are with us or you're against us versus. And sometimes I think that that's just not fair. You know, life is too complicated for them. You know, there are people who believe what they believe because their lives, they've lost people a lot. Like you can't tell a Palestinian in New York City that, hey man, fuck your people back at home. You ain't supposed to rock with them. You're supposed to choose what the American people tell you to choose. You stand up with Joe Biden and the American people, or you're not an American. And they be like, damn, fuck my grandma. Like my granny house just got blown up, G. Like what I'm supposed to be like, no. And then flip coin. And then you be like, oh yeah, my daughter was just at the rave, the music concert. They was chilling, and then like Hamas came through and like cut her head off. And you like, yeah, but on rock with the Zionists. And you're like, well shit, like my daughter just got her head cut off. Like, fuck me being a Zionist, like she just got her head cut off. Stop trying to pick good and evil, winners and losers. Stop choosing violence. That's all I gotta say, man. I ain't out here to kill nobody. I ain't out here trying to harm nobody, talk about nobody. But you don't have to choose winners and losers in a complicated world. Ultimately, support humanity
be a friend, help somebody that needs help, do something positive, spread good energy, be a positive force, and allowing all of the negative things that are being fed to us that are creating division, wanting to stoke more violence, which feeds the military industrial complex, which allows more surveillance, which then gets to deem more people criminals, which leads us to the Patriot Act. Hey, come on, man. Let's stop feeding the damn machine and stop allowing ourselves to be taken advantage of. Because I know I don't hate any Jews. I know I don't hate any Muslims. You know, there may be people I dislike, but it ain't because of their damn religion. Now some of their beliefs may be fucked up and shit, but some of mine are too. So who am I to say that this person is better than that person or that person is better than that person? No, we're all human beings. And if you think you have the right to blow somebody up because they did something to you, and guess what? Somebody gonna try to blow you up, and it's just gonna keep going and keep going. And it's sad that we as a society and people have not learned to stop blowing each other the fuck up. So, Too Much for Your Case says people forget that it was the U.S. doing regime change that has caused the religious extremism in those countries. The U.S. funded the Taliban, ISIS, just like the Israeli government funded Hamas to fight the PLO. Hey, man, they be forgetting that. What was his name? Shit, I almost said something bad. My bad. I almost said Barack Hussein bin Laden. My bad, bro. Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden. Hey, but no, it's Osama bin Laden. Hey, they be acting like the U.S. government did not fund the bin Laden family to fight them damn Russians, and that's how they got their damn money too. So you spot on, and it's like, hey, we can't be just picking and choosing, you know, when you want to. Like, hey, man, just be a good person, man. Let's start there. Let's all start there, because I promise you, I am not standing with no Ukrainians, no Russians, no Palestinians, no Israelis. I'm standing with peace. And if y'all don't want to sit down with peace, take a knee and pray and stop feeding the military industrial complex, I'm with what did Bob Marley say? War in the east, war in the west. All they want is war, and I ain't with it. So that's my wisdom on Turban Tuesday. Too much war, not enough peace. Y'all need to go smoke some herb.
Well said. Well said. All right. Well, on that note, man, I gotta go to bed.
Go right ahead. I really don't care. It's not about opinions being accepted or supported. I just think it's important for people to not be afraid to say, you know, I'm praying for peace. I ain't supporting no war. I don't really think that's anything bad to say prayers, but in a world that says you have to stand with war, then, you know, we ain't here to do that on Crypto and Down. At least I ain't. I'm speaking.
We ain't
gonna get Asherelle canceled. Cancel him. Cancel me. Hey. Hey, Crypto and Down will go on after y'all cancel me, man. But hey, shout out to Asherelle.
Oh man, that was good. Yeah, for sure. I agree with 90% of what you said. Just the cancelable part. I don't agree with the cancelable part, but no, for real though, we want to see war, but you know, it's that's what keeps the engine going. But you know, all we can do is just try to keep a level head, man, and not let it make everyone despair, you know.
Yeah, man.
And pray.
I'm gonna leave you with this. My last words for the evening. Hey, shout out to all the crypto warriors and rascals out there that tuned in. Too Much for You, okay? Don Montoya, PFC Wells, Crypto Butter, Chris Casito, Says Cincy, stand up. Hey, shout out to Cincy, man. I want to get to Cincy. It's on my bucket list because I want to see a baseball game at Great American Ballpark. Get down to the rivers. Also, might even hit the casino one time. But my last word for the night is this: if a Chihuahua get across the fence and bite you on the ankle, and you send your Rottweiler over across the other fence, go kill their grandma, you a fucked up person.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
See, that's the thing about Rick Ross. That's the thing about the boss. The metaverse, crypto. Y'all getting so much money. Where you at? Where you at? Show us. And I don't mean, oh, I'm trying to be money, man. I got a lot of money. I ain't mean that fake. But show us, show my homies what the metaverse about. One of y'all big boy crypto dudes, guru crypto picture takers. Up and say, this what we gon' do, Rujay. Where you at? Huh? Yeah, everybody giggling, looking around. All that fake rich money, where it's at? Educate.
Well, don't bring a leader in and have them not lead. Why would I argue with people who are getting paid by the guy? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna argue with people that are broker than me about money.